Welcome back. It's still Democracy and the Rule of Law coming to you this Sunday from Galaxy Television. All right, we have two guests in the house who will be looking at those clips that you just watched, a highlight from them and what we need to do as a people to move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's make welcome Malcolm Omirabo, a lawyer. Many thanks for joining us on the show this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we also have Barrister Ajibade Kaka, another Lagos-based lawyer. Thanks for joining. Ajibola, I always make that mistake. Ajibola Kaka, many thanks for joining us on Democracy and the Rule of Law.
Yeah, good afternoon.
All right, for viewers at home, you can actually be part of this conversation. Feel free to interact with us. Send SMS only. The numbers will be displayed on the screen in case you have any feedback, if you have comments, some sort of complaints, or you just want to contribute, feel free to join us on the show. The numbers are now on the screen. But let me start with you, Barrister Malcolm Omirabo. You watched some highlights of what happened at the Unity Fountain in Abuja, and of course some areas in Lagos, specifically Ikeja on the bridge, how those protesters were dispersed with tear gas. Let me just ask this point blank, carte blanche, were they doing anything wrong?
They were not doing anything wrong. They were simply exercising their fundamental rights as provided and enshrined by our Constitution. It's guaranteed in our Constitution that every individual have a right to express him or herself, even though there are limitations. But they have not done anything to warrant. They were not violent. They were peaceful. There were no fight. They were not fighting. They were not destroying properties that gives the police the right to disrupt them. So essentially, I don't know why we are still going back. It took a lot to fight away the military. I don't know why the present crop of politicians are taking us far beyond where we started from. Seriously speaking, like I told some police officers in Alausa, every individual have the right to protest. They don't need permission. They don't even need to notify the police. Protest could be spontaneous. It could be something happened here and we decide to protest, express ourselves. But you could inform the police, maybe for the purpose of being protected or being guided, but anything outside that, you are free to express yourself.
Let's look at some of their demands, their complaints. We're talking about injustice, outright disobedience to the rule of law and fundamental human rights of citizens. Basically, they were talking about having a better Nigeria, things work. In your opinion, are their demands actually cogent at this particular time?
Their demands are very cogent. But you see, my take on all this, I must say, like I told somebody this afternoon, I said the problem with Nigeria is very simple. It's not as complex as we think. The moment we start telling ourselves the truth, then we'll find a headway. Their demands is they're cogent, it's urgent, and very, very, very imperative. Now, the way out, basically, I think what the youths should concern themselves with is for them to try to educate themselves. Most of them really don't know what they're even asking for. They're just mimicking or parroting. I think they should go do more mental job.
Why would they join the protest when they don't know what the issues are?
I'm telling you, they could say come because for the fact that I'm hungry right now or I'm unemployed, that pain alone will take me out. But then it goes beyond that. How many of them have a copy of the Constitution? How many of them know their rights in the Constitution apart from freedom of expression? How many of them knows that the Constitution has a binding force over and above all authorities in Nigeria? How many of them knows that the powers of the legislature, the powers of the judiciary, the power of the executive, the devolution of powers, the allocation of resources? You see, most of our youths They don't have this foundation, and I think that's where we should start from. We should start from the foundation. When you look at the Constitution, they should read it, espouse it, and based on that, they can challenge. Not just me. I commend them. Honestly, I commend them, and in fact, I praise them a lot. But then, I think another approach, apart from this protest, is for them to understand the contract between the people and the government. Most of us don't understand the contract. It's when you understand the contract, you can be able to complain, not just by protesting, in writing. Hold symposiums, don't brainstorm, see how you can hold the government accountable. Most of those youths you see there, how many of them know their chairman, the chairman of their local government? How many of them know who represent them in Lagos State House of Assembly or in Abuja? How many of them know? How many of them have found out how much allocation money, monthly allowance, comes to the local government, how it's being spent from your own local government? Have you ever called your local government and said, why is this road not tarred? Why is it that this road, I've gone and I've seen that they have budgeted money and they claim this road has been tarred for how many years? It's not tarred. How many of them have hold their not even chairman, their councillor, their ward councillor accountable? How many of them know them? So that is the basis. I discovered that most of us are ignoramus, including myself, until I went into activism and I got to understand the problem. So the coming to what you have said, I commend them. Their demands are cogent, but it must be they must apply a lot of intelligence. Not just that raw. Protest has gone beyond street protest. Yes, it's the best form. But then, before you can protest, before you can talk about revolution, you must be well informed. You must have the ideology. You must have leaders. Apart from Sowore, how many leaders of this revolution now, how many of them can you mention that are thick and strong? How many? Okay. So you need a lot of lieutenants. You need ideology. You need information. You need to be orientated. You need to be united. With that knowledge is power. With that knowledge, you can move forward. Finally, on this issue, I want to say, you see, what most Nigerians don't understand is this. You see, I will make it very brief here. It took the black slaves to understand how to read and write to get to where they were today. Okay. It was an offense for a black slave to read the Bible. You get amputated, or your eyes is plucked, or you're killed, or sold out. But they took pains. Eventually, they knew how to read and write. And it is based on that you now have the products of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, who challenged them. During the colonial era, the Azikiwes, the nationalists, they went to school in England. They studied, and with knowledge, they were able to dismantle colonialism. So that also applies here, although it's difficult because those people are white, but we're talking about the black-white masters here. Okay. I staged this protest to protest the bloodletting, the butchery, the slaughtering, the massacre, and the carnage going on in Nigeria. We have failed, all of us have failed, and the world have failed to give it its real name. And its real name is genocide. Any act of genocide that is carried out within Nigerian territory, be it in Borno, be it in Katsina, be it in Kaduna, be it in Delta or anywhere, any of these acts done anywhere tantamounts to that it's being done in Nigeria, or that means to say that it takes only a second to explode in any part of Nigeria. There's complicity in this matter as far as I'm concerned. You want to ask me who have been prosecuted? Even when these people are arrested, they are released. Who have been prosecuted? Even the governor of Kaduna State agreed to the fact that these terrorists are from neighboring African countries, that he identified them and paid them off. I'm also trying to call on the Lagos State government to please, they should speed up the beautiful idea of Omoteku. Okay. They have politicized it so much. I just don't understand why, after having brought out that beautiful idea, they've gone to sleep.
Welcome back. That was Barrister Malcolm Omirobo there talking about the killings in Nigeria, in southern Kaduna, and of course the implementation of the Amoteco, that's the Western Nigeria Security Network. Okay, Barrister Omirobo, let's talk to you now concerning your one-man protest. You decided to go on a protest just for yourself. You thought things are not really proper, and Nigerians demand explanations to the killings in southern Kaduna.
Yeah, I staged that one-man protest, which I had to trek barefoot. I walked barefoot from Victoria Island Law School to Alausa.
Whoa, yes, you must have been in so much pain.
Yeah, I really wanted to feel the pain. Apart from anything, I just wanted to feel the pain. Because just look at the killings of innocent children, women, defenseless men. I mean, just imagine yourself in that situation. And I keep on telling everybody that it's going to get to your doorstep. It is. What is happening now in Kaduna will happen in your doorstep. These are rehearsals, okay? It's going to get to your doorstep where the government is not answering you. You know, the government is telling you they don't have resources. Imagine, after collecting billions of naira, you are telling me that you don't have resources to defend the people. That's what the army said. You don't have resources to. That means Nigeria cannot even fight Benin Republic right now. That means anybody can come here and take over this country. Now, that protest is to bring to the call out the government and also call out the people to be aware of what is happening. And like I said in that interview, that the right to life is sacred. It is a right that is given to us by our God, our Creator, and it is inalienable. Nobody, it is God that gave us first. Then we entered into social contract with the government and said, look, this is our right that God has given us. We will surrender it to you so that you will take care of us. We don't need to bother about our right to life because you will secure it. Then you will do this and this for us. Take care of us, protect the right, provide this and that and that. Right now, there's a breach of that contract. That is to say that the way it is that the Nigerian government has lost its sovereignty. The sovereignty is no longer in the hands of the government anymore, because if the government cannot defend the people, then it has no justification to call itself a government. So I have advocated that the Nigerian people should defend themselves by any means necessarily possible.
Okay.
Yes. And I've told them, I personally, tomorrow I'm going to apply for a gun. I want to see the outcome. Nigerians are scared to apply for a gun because they feel that it is a crime to have a gun. It's not a crime. It's your right.
Some people might think it might be subjected to abuse.
No, it is your right. All they need to do is to find out who are you in the society. Are you a responsible person? Do you have mental history of being a mental patient before? Are you a criminal? And all that. If you are clean, automatically you have a gun.
Are you sure won't get to a stage where we'll be having issues of gun control and some of other crimes that we have in the United States?
For now, we need guns, because you cannot come and take my knife, my cooking knife from me, take my bow and arrow, take my spear, take my cutlass, take my ding gun away, and you allow people with AK-47 to come and... That's what's happening in Kaduna.
Okay.
There's curfew. The curfew is not working. What the hell is the government waiting for before they can declare a state of emergency there?
Thank you. There is actually a state of emergency. Not a curfew, not a state of emergency. Anyway,
it's different. There are different things.
Yeah, you're right.
A state of emergency immediately. So it's a helpless situation, as I tell you there. It is a helpless situation.
Omirobo, do you really think the government is actually dragging its feet just because it feels maybe it might be brought under, or maybe the timing is not right, or is it the issue of COVID-19, or just a sheer no will to want to implement it?
They don't have the political will. Simple. They don't, and they're not sincere. You see, like I keep on saying, that the problem with Nigeria is our elites, our academicians, our intellectuals, and our professionals. These people are the light of the society, and you find them across every facet, every sphere of life. You have them as governors and all that. They are not being truthful to themselves. Like I said, the problem of Nigeria is very simple. It's just for us to tell ourselves the truth. Now, we are talking about Omateku, we are talking about NDDC, we are talking about this and that. All these things are not necessary if we have the right constitution in place. I always go back to the constitution because it's the grown and it is the contract that I have with my government and my fellow citizens. I always go to my contract. That constitution is evil. It is devilish. It is fraudulent. It is deceitful, and it needs to be pulled down. That is where the problem is. Because if we have a good constitution, why are you talking about Mateku? Why are you talking about anybody? Every state would have gotten their own police. Like in America, we like copying America when it's convenient for us. When it's not convenient for us, we don't want to copy America. Go to America. Right from this your company, there's a police. There are police that takes care of, apart from your personal guy yourself. Because every American is a security agent as far as I'm concerned. Before you know it, 911, what do they call it? They inform the police, they are there. From there you move. Like this, your company have a qualified police, a level of police officer or a group of police. Then you move to the street, then you move to the state, then you, so this thing, so there are certain states, each state has their police, each local government, each county has. If you are changing somebody from Detroit, you can't get into Northfield. You know what I'm saying is that if the constitution is in place, we should not be talking about Mateko, because already Lagos State will have its own police
to handle its own issues.
Yeah, handle its own issues. You don't need the central government to start telling you how you police your terrain or your environment. Okay. So the truth about this country, and I keep on telling Nigerians, I will continue to try my best to educate people. Very soon, running my foundation is running a program where we can print over 1 million constitutions that we're going to distribute free, and continue to have lectures like my learned friend has said, lectures educating people. The constitution of this country is the problem. Let's not say anything again. We should stop talking about anything.
Okay.
Let's talk, let's eat, let's breathe, and let's discuss the constitution.
Welcome back. It's still democracy and the rule of law. We still have Barrister Malcolm Omirobo and of course Barrister Ajibola Kaka as our guests in the studio this afternoon. Barristers, you heard my introduction concerning what we will be looking at right now.
Even before coronavirus came, nothing was
a lot
working.
Of probes, a lot of comments have followed the NDDC. It is supposed to be a commission that will bring development to a particular area in Nigeria, the Niger Delta. But from what we have seen, monies have just been misappropriated, for works that are not really bringing development in that region. What do you really think?
I think right now, the country as it's presently constituted is a joke. Our leaders are jokers. They are clowns. Sorry to say. Honestly, they know the truth and they have failed to follow the path of truth. I go back to the constitution. That constitution is evil. Nigerians, please, no restructuring or pulling down that constitution. No election. Don't bother to go for election, because even if Jesus Christ becomes the next president of this country and that constitution remains, he will not succeed, no matter how pious, no matter how holy he is. You see, the problem is this. Okay, first, let's talk about the NDC you're talking about now. Why was it created? It was created because they don't want to tell themselves the truth that the center is too powerful. In 2000, the civilian government, in 1999, when the new dispensation civilian government took over from the military, it was agreed that this constitution, this 1999 constitution, is defective. We as civilians, we cannot take this decree as our constitution. We must amend it, or we must do something about it. Instead of going about it, intelligently. What they start doing it piecemeal. They start now. Tell me, why don't you go back to the 1963 ways of generation and the distribution of revenues, resources? What is the big deal? There's no state in Nigeria that is poor. Sokoto is richer than Great Britain. I can tell you, this country is blessed. There's no state that is poor. Now, you want to take this man's oil, and you see what is happening in Nigeria today. We have government of rogues. They are rogues. I'm telling you confidently. Why I say you cannot. You see, a thief does not run at a loss. He's only making profit. If I steal your iPad now and you bought it for 200,000, if I sell it 50,000, the company iPad is not making that profit that I've made. A thief does not run at a loss, and that's how they are selling the oil of the Niger Deltas away. Now, because of the agitation of the owners of this, the indigenous people, the Ogonis, the Robos, and that, look, Shell, you are polluting our environment. You are polluting our environment. We need to partake in our resources. Instead of them to address that issue, to give autonomy, which we are talking about it tomorrow, that is going to break down this country. They refuse to do that and say, okay, let's form a commission called NDDC, and that's where we are today. If they were honest enough to give autonomy to these people, manage your oil, but give us 40% at the center, this thing will not happen, because the local people will handle it themselves. And look, there's no way with the money, even the money that we are talking about, 80 whatever billion we are talking about, Niger Delta should be another Dubai. So this issue of this commission is nonsense. They are whipping a dead horse, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
It's not. They're just talking nonsense. They need to address the issue. Give people their resources. Let Zamfara keep their gold.
Okay.
Keep your gold, Zamfara. Niger Delta, keep your oil. You keep your cocoa. You keep your groundnut.
Okay. Gentlemen, final note, final thoughts on this particular issue. Way forward. Let me start with you, Barrister Malcolm.
See, we have always blamed the leaders. It's not just the leaders, the followers too. There's a popular saying by Plato that if you get disinterested or you leave the government in the hands of a few, you end up leaving the governance in the hands of fools. I think that's what's happening in this country right now. The followers, they have a lion's share of the blame to carry on their shoulders, because they are ignorant. Their apathy is too much. They don't want to know what's happening. But I'm happy they are waking up. So once they wake up, they will be the one to now push for this proper restructuring. The truth of the matter is this. My final conclusion is that we either the leaders, they have just one chance to respect themselves or be disrespected. Let them use the small honor they have now to restructure peacefully, or we will go for a referendum.
All right, well said. A very big thank yous to our guests here in the studios. Very much. We'll start with Barrister Malcolm Omiro. Thank you for joining us on the show today and expressing your thoughts.
I appreciate it.